Having a low-end PC doesn't mean you have to settle for games that look like they were made in the 90s. Some developers have spent years perfecting their game engines so that even a budget laptop can handle them without exploding. Here are 5 of the best optimized games that still look incredible on older hardware.
Metal Gear Solid V: The Phantom Pain is basically the gold standard for optimization. It came out years ago, but the visuals are so crisp and the lighting is so realistic that it puts many modern titles to shame. The secret is the Fox engine, which was built to run on almost anything. You can play this on a dual-core processor with a very weak graphics card, and it still feels smooth. The character models are highly detailed, and the way the sun sets over the desert or reflects off wet pavement during a rainstorm is breathtaking. It runs at a high frame rate without much effort, making it a perfect pick if you want that AAA feel without needing a $5,000 rig.
Another miracle of coding is Mad Max. This game features some of the most beautiful explosions and dust effects you will ever see in an open-world environment. While many open-world games struggle with stuttering or long loading times, Mad Max stays solid. The wasteland is vast and filled with heat haze and debris, yet the game handles it all gracefully. If you have an older GPU, you can still crank up the settings quite a bit and enjoy the view of the sunset hitting the rusted metal of your car. It's an atmospheric experience that proves you don't need the latest hardware to feel like you're inside a big-budget movie. If you like superheroes, Batman Arkham City is a must. Even though it is an older title, the art direction is so strong that it looks better than many games coming out today. The city is dark, rainy, and filled with neon lights that reflect off Batman's cape. Because the game is so well optimized, you can usually run it at your monitor's full resolution even on integrated graphics. The combat is fluid, and the animations are top tier. It captures the grimy, gothic atmosphere of Gotham perfectly, and because it was designed to run on older consoles, it treats your PC's resources with a lot of respect. For those who want something a bit more modern but still light on specs, Resident Evil 7 is a fantastic choice. Capcom's RE engine is famously efficient. The game takes place mostly in a creepy, dilapidated house, and the level of detail on the peeling wallpaper and gross food on the tables is haunting. Even on lower settings, the lighting creates a thick, terrifying atmosphere that masks any lower resolution textures. It manages to look photorealistic in certain spots, yet it won't make your fans sound like a jet engine. It's proof that smart design and a great engine can make a game look next-gen on yesterday's hardware. Now we have Titanfall 2. This is one of the smoothest first-person shooters ever made. The movement is incredibly fast and the graphics are vibrant and cinematic. Despite the massive robots and huge environments, the game stays locked at a high frame rate. The developers used a heavily modified version of the source engine, which is known for being very easy on the CPU. The mechanical details on the Titans and the lush greenery in the jungle levels look stunning even on medium settings. It's a fast-paced, high-fidelity experience that won't punish you for having an older computer.
Alien Isolation is a masterclass in atmospheric lighting and art direction. Even though it was released over a decade ago, it still looks better than many modern horror games. The developers at Creative Assembly captured the lo-fi sci-fi aesthetic of the original 1979 film perfectly. Because the game takes place in cramped metallic corridors, the engine doesn't have to render massive open worlds, which saves a ton of processing power. The way the shadows flicker and the steam vents hiss looks incredibly realistic. You can play this on an old office laptop with integrated graphics and still get a solid experience. The game is so well optimized that it feels smooth as butter, and the sheer tension of the lighting makes it look far more expansive than it is.
Next up is Doom Eternal. This game is widely considered one of the best optimized pieces of software ever written.
It uses the ID Tech 7 engine, which was built from the ground up to deliver high frame rates without sacrificing visual fidelity. The colors are vibrant, the textures are sharp, and the gore is detailed, yet the game can maintain a stable 60 frames per second on very modest hardware. Even if you don't have a dedicated graphics card, lowering the resolution slightly allows the game to fly. It's a fast-paced shooter where every millisecond counts, so the fact that it stays responsive even when the screen is filled with explosions and demons is a testament to the brilliance of its code.
Devil May Cry 5 is another example of a game that looks impossible to run until you actually try it. It uses the RE engine, the same one behind the recent Resident Evil games, and it is a beast of optimization. The character models are some of the most detailed in gaming, with realistic skin textures and fluid cloth physics. Despite the flashy combat and screen-filling special effects, the game handles everything with ease. It manages to look photorealistic during cutscenes and stays perfectly stable during intense gameplay. If you have a budget PC, you'll be surprised at how high you can push the settings before you see any lag. Sleeping Dogs is often overlooked, but it features a stunning recreation of Hong Kong that runs beautifully on older systems. The game shines, literally, when it rains. The reflections of neon signs on the wet asphalt and the way the rain beads on your character's clothes look fantastic. Because it's an older title, modern low-end hardware can tear through it easily. It offers a dense, living city full of detail and vibrant colors, without the massive performance hits you see in more recent open-world games. It's a great pick for anyone who wants a high-quality action game that feels premium without needing a modern GPU.
Lastly, we have Battlefield 1. While the Battlefield series is known for being demanding, this specific entry is a miracle of optimization for the Frostbite engine. The scale of the war, with its massive maps, crumbling buildings, and dynamic weather is breathtaking. The mud, the fire, and the smoke effects look incredibly lifelike. Surprisingly, the game scales down very well. Even on an older quad-core CPU and an entry-level graphics card, you can participate in 64-player matches with a respectable frame rate. It looks cinematic at almost every setting, proving that you don't need a top-tier machine to experience the grit and scale of a massive war.